Let's move on to our mailbag. First mailbag question we got was, what was our surprise team of the season so far, both good and bad? For my good, I selected Colorado, though I have given them grief because they got too much news coverage. I do feel like they play a lot better than I thought they were going to play. I did think they were going to lose to TCU, and I thought is a toss up in Nebraska. So they're, they beat TCU and they blew out Nebraska. So I mean, they're ahead of the game there so far, and they have Colorado State, so they'll be 3-0, and they'll tripled their win total from last year. So you got to pat them on the back for that and the way they've done it. So yeah, but my good, my bad is Clemson. I really thought Garrett Riley was going to fix the offense, but then right before that Duke game when they said that he was going to be running Dabo's offense in Clemson, I knew it was probably going to be a long season, and it is so far. When they were down, I think they were down 14-7 to Charleston Southern last week. I don't know what's going on in Clemson. They were able to turn around and it's going to run, but you should never be down 14-7 to Charleston Southern. So, and so that's just a terrible, terrible outlook so far for Clemson. So Jordan, what do you got on your side? Who's your good? Who's your bad?
So I just didn't want to be the same as everybody else. So my good is Miami. 2 good games. Defense was kind of shaky for the Texas A&M game, but offense looked good. Tyler Van Dyke, 21 for 30, 374 yards, 5 touchdowns. Miami is looking good offensively, which, honestly, if you think about it, it's surprising because, the old Miamis we think of, their defense was their powerhouse. But right now, offensively, Miami looks good, trending up in my eyes. And talking about Miami, my bad is Texas A&M. They digressed, it seemed like. They went from having a really good first game to not being able to stop Tyler Van Dyke with his 5 passing touchdowns. They're my bad. I think they're going to continue to be bad. I think Jimbo is burning up, and I think they're slowly trying to they're calling all their boosters like, hey, can we somehow get you to give us some money so we can pay him? So those are my good and bad. Take them, don't leave them.
I'm leaving them, and I'm moving on to Jess. Jess, who do you got?
Yeah, so I copied your bad there, Tony, but that was the first team that kind of came to mind with, like, I'm surprised at how bad they are, and that's Clemson. Like, again, Clemson bad is different than a lot of other bads, but the team that I chose for good is Duke. Like, the thing for me is, like, at any point, if you had told me at any point in the season Duke football was going to be ranked ahead of Clemson and Clemson wasn't even going to be ranked, I would be figuring it was an absolute disaster of a season for Clemson, and Duke is looking absolutely phenomenal. And their quarterback now, Riley Leonard, is looking to get he's getting plenty of draft buzz now. I hear a lot of people talking about just how loaded this potential 2024 quarterback class will be, and his name is up there. A lot of people have been very surprised by him. It's only been 2 games, but I've liked what I've seen from Duke so far, and I haven't liked as much as what I've seen from Clemson.
All right. No, I agree. And if there's one fan base that likes me, it's Duke, because I did say in the offseason I felt like Duke was going to have a good season with Riley Leonard and that defense, Mike Elko. And I don't even think I realized. I thought they played tough against Clemson, but then and having like a 9-3 record. But they have a chance. ACC's down. I mean, you're a Florida State win away from going to the playoff, obviously, at this point, if you're Duke. So it's kind of crazy. Well, they have to play Notre Dame, too. So they're not being Notre Dame. Sorry, guys. So those are 2 tough teams, but they can still have a chance 9-3-10-2 type season, which for Duke is like amazing. They'll definitely take that, for that program. So, yeah, definitely agree with those. All right. Next question. I think it's going to be an easy one for us all, but, if the Heisman winner is picked today, who would we pick? I think we all agree, right? Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
If there's a second person, maybe we do that. If there's a second person behind Caleb Williams, because one of the things that Heisman doesn't typically do is give it to a person 2 years in a row. So if he's out of the running because he's won it already, who else would you guys put in there right now?
Probably Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right now, yes.
It has to be one of the Pac-12 quarterbacks.
You guys have been listening to too much podcast out there.
Well, it could. If I had to choose someone else, Michael Penix Jr. Yeah, he could.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I like Shadur Sanders, what he's been doing. I'm interested when they play tougher teams. I don't think Nebraska was that good. They're a little better defensively than what TCU was, but he hasn't played like I don't even know if Pac-12 has a really good defense team. Now that I'm saying that though, so maybe he never will be challenged. I don't know. So maybe they'll be fine, but they'll have to outscore USC and Oregon and Washington. So those are going to be tougher teams. But I'd be interested to see what he does because I do like much better what Colorado's ever had for a long time. So I'm sure they'll take him.